Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I have two articles for you today. We're not going to go through the whole and complete articles, but just read through the headline and the bullet points and get into the scriptures from there. So this is from Zero Hedge, stated March 23rd, 2022. And it says, gas stations will run dry. Catastrophic scenario for diesel emerging according to world's biggest energy traders. It says, while the world has been obsessively focused on crude oil and gasoline in recent weeks, we instead altered readers to a far more dire scenario playing out in diesel, a source of energy which is absolutely critical in keeping the just-in-time world running on time. So that microwave mentality that everyone has, what the just-in-time is mentioning or alluding to. As a reminder, here are some of the articles we have published on the topic in recent weeks, many even before the Ukraine war. And this first one right here, I think, says a lot. Diesel is the U.S. economy's inflation canary. And so if you've heard of canary in the coal mine, it's a expression for an indicator of danger. So if diesel shows danger coming and it's about to run out, you can see that danger is coming for the greater part of the Western world and Babylon the Great itself. So diesel's what's used for your big rigs to transport not only food but all sorts of products throughout the U.S. And it's needed for this consumer economy. But if that all runs out, then we're going to have supply shortages and straight up famines. And famines are mentioned all throughout the scriptures. And so we do know that that's biblical prophecy for that to happen. And just to back that up, the diesel, here's another article from Zero Hedge, and it's dated today, March 24th. And it says, Biden casually says food shortage going to be real. It's necessary price of anti-Russian sanctions. And we'll just read this. It says, President Biden warns that food shortages are, in quotes, going to be real, saying the U.S. is working with European partners to end trade limitations on sending food abroad to help alleviate supply issues caused by Russian sanctions. And, gas prices aren't up because of this war over there. They were already up. This is all caused by inflation. And it's really just the U.S. is crumbling, and they needed something to blame it on, and so they're blaming it on these sanctions. With the Ukraine-Russia thing, here's another tweet. It says, Biden says that he expected China to provide assistance to Russia in their invasion of Ukraine. If that's true, why did he share intelligence with Russian military movements with the Chinese? Yeah, this is all, it's just, there's going to be famines and there's going to be shortages of all types. Let's even look at it. I pulled it up earlier. Nope. The word famine, at least in the Blue Letter Bible, and not, the Apocrypha is not included, but famine is mentioned 84 times in the Old and New Testament. And let's see, hunger 24 times. But it's it's just biblical prophecy for this all to go down this way. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, and those articles were alluding to famine. They're alluding to shortages, which eventually bring on famine. And then plague, the last 2.5, 3 years, we've been experiencing that. Tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So this is a time where you could be getting right. But for all these things they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Because these people are out here partying and carrying about as if there's nothing going on within the world, as if the world hasn't been in the way it's been the last 2 or 3 years, and that everything is plenteous and the economy's great and there's not a war going on the other side of the world, and that they're in good case. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And right now, prices are actually moving up, going up and up because of inflation, but it's still affordable. For most of us, we're not, lacking at this point. It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that great confusion, no one can, very few people can tell what's really going on. There's so much information and disinformation and propaganda out there. And then, as we spoke about with the famine, that's fast approaching. Violent crime is increased, and we're in a position where everything is going downward. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So, even though it's looking, most people are in okay shape right now, yeah, there's a war going on, and prices are getting higher, especially gas prices, but there's worse things to come. It's going to be a worse time than any other time. It's described in Daniel, the 12th chapter. This is Revelation 6 and verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. It's Esau. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And that should make you think of, let's just go to, and we'll come right back. But Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, I think it's 5. Yeah. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, that's his philosophies. He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And the Edomites have bases and are in every part of the world and everyone's business, stealing their resources. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, because his desire is unquenchable. His bloodlust and his gold lust, it's unquenchable, and he brings death with him everywhere he goes, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So that's speaking of Esau, and we're going to go back to Revelation 6 and 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, Esau, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and that's any of his various killing technologies, from the gun to the tank to the missile to even the pen, by writing different laws that kill people. Any of his various technologies for that. And with hunger, and we know that these supply shortages are going to bring famine, and this famine seems to be contrived. So that's the pale horse Esau pulling this one off too. And with death, and with the beast of the earth. And so things are about to get a lot worse. There's food shortages incoming, and inflation incoming, more wars incoming, and mass death incoming. And with that, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.